Now, one question is there. Hindustan Charitable Foundation was formed on 1/4/2006. Hindustan Charitable Foundation, the same was formed on 1/4/2006. It applied for registration and got the registration on 1/4/2010. It has applied for registration and got for registration on 1/4/2010. The trust got the exemption from payment of taxes satisfying the conditions of 11 to 13 with effect from 1/4/2010. Now it is getting the benefit of exemption from 1/4/2010, and the trust get dissolved, say on 1/12/2019. The trust has been dissolved on 1/12/2019. Now here the balance sheet of the trust as on the date of dissolution is as under. They are saying land and building, there is investment in quoted shares, investment in unquoted shares, cash, bank balance. Here we have corpus of the trust, it won't be considered as a liability. Reserves, this will not be considered as a liability. Then loan taken for purchase of land and building, loan taken for purchase of the unquoted equity shares, and these loans have been taken in 7/8 prior to the date when the trust was registered. So here they say that fair market value of land and building is 1 crore and 20 lakhs. 50% of the unquoted shares were acquired during 2007-8. Here 50% of these unquoted equity shares is acquired during 2007-8. So we have to consider that 50% has been acquired prior to registration. That won't be considered, and the loan taken for the same will also not be considered. Then market value of quoted shares as on the date of dissolution is what? 30 lakhs. They have already provided what? Market value of these shares. That is 30 lakhs on the date of dissolution. Then cash and building is acquired, land and building is acquired out of agriculture income. We have seen if any asset is acquired out of agriculture income under section 10(1), it will not be considered as an asset. We have seen the same will not be considered an asset. So this will not be considered as an asset. Then with respect to X Limited, in which the trust invested in unquoted shares, the following additional information is available as on 1/12/2019. This is 2 lakh is the equity share with a face value of rupees 10 each. 2 lakh is their number of shares. Total book value of the assets other than bullion and jewelry is 1 crore. Value of bullion and jewelry is 50 lakhs, and liabilities amounting rupees is 60 lakhs. Upon dissolution, the trust has distributed assets valuing 10 lakhs to another trust registered under 12AA before 31st of December 2020. So now we are required to compute the tax payable on the accredited income. So now we have to value. First of all, we will be valuing the unquoted equity shares. Then we will be considering the accredited income. Assets which are not considered, that will also be seen. So here, first of all, we will be what? Computing the accredited income of the trust. It's a good question, and these types of questions are asked in examination. Computation of the accredited income. The accredited income. It is a computation of accredited income of Hindustan Charitable Trust. Of Hindustan Charitable Trust. What accredited income is? What accredited income is? Accredited income is aggregate value of assets, aggregate value of assets minus the aggregate value of the liabilities. The aggregate value of liabilities. Okay. So first of all, we will be calculating the aggregate value of the assets. The assets which are not to be taken into consideration, that will be considered. Liabilities which are not to be taken into consideration, that will be considered. So before that, we will be valuing the unquoted equity shares. Value of unquoted equity shares. We will be valuing the unquoted equity shares. Here, the total book value of the assets other than bullion and jewelry is 1 crore of this particular X Limited. Total book value of assets. We are calculating the value. Total book value of assets other than bullion and jewelry. Other than bullion and jewelry. That is ₹1 crore. That is 1 crore. That is 1 crore. Then market value of money and jewelry. Market value of bullion and jewelry is 50 lakhs. Value of bullion and jewelry, we have to consider that it is 50 lakhs. It is 1 crore 50 lakhs. Then we have their liabilities 60 lakhs. Liabilities is 60 lakhs. So it works out to be 90 lakhs. What is the number of equity shares? Number of equity shares is 2 lakhs. So value per share will be rupees 45. Value per share will be 45. Now we have made an investment. How much investments have been made by us in this, X Limited? How much investment has been made by us in X Limited? That is to be seen. Out of which, the investments, half of the investments will not be considered. So they have said that 50% of unquoted equity shares have been acquired during 7-8. So unquoted equity shares, it is 90 lakhs. Value per share is rupees 45. Here value per share is rupees 45, and here they say that it is 2 lakh equity share is there. 2 lakh equity share is there, and the face value is rupees 10. So we are having how many shares? 40,000 shares. We are having what? 40,000 shares. So look, we will be considering only 20,000 shares at rate of 45. That will be 9 lakh rupees, because 2 lakh remaining shares have been acquired prior to registration. That won't be considered. Remaining shares have been acquired prior to registration. That won't be considered. Beside this, the liabilities relating to the same, liabilities relating to it, will not be considered. Will not be considered. So when we will be calculating the accredited income now, we can calculate it here also. Look, about land and building, we can straight away write, otherwise it is to be reduced. Since it is acquired directly out of agricultural income, same will not be considered. Same will not be considered as an asset. It won't be considered as an asset for the purpose of calculating the accredited income. So here, then investment in quoted equity share. There is investment in quoted equity share. We'll consider the fair market value. Fair market value of investment in quoted equity share. What is the fair market value they have provided? 30 lakh rupees. 30 lakh rupees. Then investment in unquoted equity share. Only 50% will be considered. 50% will be considered. Here, we have seen, already discussed, 9 lakh will be considered. Then they say that cash and bank balance is there. Cash is 50,000 rupees and bank balance is also 50,000 rupees. So here it comes out to be 39 and 40 lakh rupees. Less the liabilities. Whatever liabilities will be are there. Loan taken for what? Purchase of unquoted equity shares, it won't be considered as liability. Loan taken for land and building. Loan taken for what? Land and building. The same will also not be considered as liability. These two will not be considered as liability. So liabilities as such are nil here. Liabilities as such are what? Nil. So it is 40 lakhs. Now further information has been provided that trust has transferred rupees 10 lakhs asset. So less value of asset transferred to other institution. That is 10 lakh rupees. So our accredited income, it works out to be how much? It works out to be 30 lakh rupees. This works out to be 30 lakh rupees. Whatever assets have been transferred within a period of 1 year from the date of dissolution, that won't be considered for the purpose of calculation of what? The accredited income. And tax on accredited income will be tax on accredited income. Tax on accredited income, that is 30 lakhs into 34.944%. That is 1,04,832 round. That is 34.944%. That will be the tax on the accredited income. So this type of question can be asked in the examination. You must remember how to value the same. So we have discussed one practical question relating to it, and this way we have discussed it. So you can ask any difficulty if there is any in valuation. So please go through the rules. These rules are applicable where also while valuing the income for in other sources. When we are valuing the shares, these rules are applicable. So from that point of view also, please do the rules. Okay. So this was about what our computation of tax liability in case of the accredited income.